Hello there. Thanks for taking the time to have a quick chat about this upcoming event. Should be pretty fun.
Well, I'm looking at your 2019 dates thus far. I know you guys are doing a make good in Japan. You're going to be doing some dates in Australia. Of course, Rock in Rio. That's got to be on your radar. And now
it is
Davenport, Iowa.
Pinch me, I'm a rock star.
Yeah, it's it seems like Iowa is just. We feel the love in Iowa, man. Like whenever we come to play in Iowa, and it turns out we're doing it more and more. They roll out the red carpet and treat us so great, and they also give us a hell of a show when it's time to get on stage and do our thing. They make it entertaining for us too.
Well, you guys played the Iowa State Fair a couple of years ago, I think, and this past year, I believe Nickelback only did about 5 dates in the States, and a couple of them were in Iowa. So what you say is true. Now, going back, because you snuck in a show here at the iWireless Center, that would have been February of 2015, and then that's when your brother had the issue with his vocal cords, and then you guys were laid off for almost, I think it was like a year to the day. Almost, right?
It was pretty much a year. That was the mandate that the surgeon, the throat doctor guy gave him, was he needed to take exactly a year off, and we're not really one to take a day off.
Right.
So when it came time, when that 365th day came, it was time to get back to work.
What, if anything, did the doctor say about your vocals, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. We send Chad to the expensive doctors. I just go to like the veterinarian.
Right.
I'm not really what do you call skilled labor.
Right. So basically, you guys have been picking up sort of where that tour left off and resuming, I believe, beginning of 2019, back to Japan, then Australia, and then you'll be filling in the dates in the States, including July 31st at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds.
Yeah, can you tell me what's going to happen down there? I'm excited to check it out, but I don't really know much about the goings-on that will be going on.
Well, we'll try to, because you played the Iowa State Fair, so you've got a pretty good idea of how we gather for fairs.
You guys are up right after Robinson's Racing Pigs.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Ooh.
Yep.
That sounds sexy. Yes, I like it.
Shovel the stage as you come up. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable.
No, should we maybe grease up before we get up there? It's not a grease pig situation.
No, it's just just for fun. But the Mississippi Valley Fair, it'll be the 100th anniversary. They have packed in excess of 25,000 people. Everybody from Def Leppard,
ZZ Top played. I mean,
so
no pressure for you guys, obviously.
Oh, those are all friends of mine. I'm not. I don't find them intimidating anymore. They're just like my extended family.
Don't sound like a rock star. Leave that to your brother, would you please?
Yeah.
Come on.
Wait a minute. Listen to this.
I'm the anonymous rock star. Right?
Whatever. You know what? The first thing that comes up on Google when you type in your name, Nickelback bassist buys $3.8 million Hollywood home.
Wow.
So you're living up to the lyrics of the song, aren't you?
Are you checking that stuff off?
I don't, you know what? I don't know why. I think we had a couple of slow news days because my real estate transactions made the news for a while there. I think maybe the president hadn't said anything interesting that week or whatever, because I can't believe that broke through.
Well, anytime. What? I like how you sold a house in Maui to move to Hollywood. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And were there like celebrities, kids trick-or-treating at your place? Like, are there any famous people in your neighborhood?
We live in a neighborhood that doesn't have sidewalks, and so it turns out the kids don't come.
Oh man, that's
there,
awesome!
It sucks. I would have really liked to have put on I prefer to wear chicken suits. That's my normal Halloween garb. And the first year we lived here was quickly, shortly after we got here, I was fully geared up and ready to go, and no kids showed up because I didn't know the backstory, and I was sitting there in my chicken suit, and no kids came. There I am, depressed chicken, watching episodes of Arrested Development, trying not to cry, and now I got to figure it out. So I guess you got to go to. There's some neighborhoods that are the juicy neighborhoods where the kids go where it's flat, and we live in a canyon, in the Hollywood Hills, so it's not really good walking terrain, for kids. They wouldn't be into it, and no sidewalks either, which is a bummer.
But on the upside, don't tell your wife. Just keep buying candy, because when they don't show up, I guess we got to eat it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was that was a problem, because my wife and I each, independent of one another, went shopping, and we both showed up. Surprise! I bought 10 pounds of candy. Surprise! I bought 10 pounds of candy too. Oh no! So yeah, no kids came. So we put on a few pounds around the house until I was able to get that stuff out of there.
When you said you didn't know about the house, meaning that the neighborhood doesn't have kids trick or treating, I thought the kids were afraid, because wasn't that Bela Lugosi's house?
Yeah, that's the story. I actually I'm just finishing up reading his biography, kind of knowing that he owned this house that I'm in, kind of made me really interested in the guy. Fascinating story. But yeah, he was the first occupant of this house.
Yeah. Yeah. It was built for him.
A couple of years.
So did you find anything weird or quirky? Man, if you were here, I wonder what this switch that goes to nothing turns on and off. Nothing.
We're plenty weird enough. I don't think that our weird and his weird would be that easy to distinguish between, so it's,
sure.
It's just, I have no aspirations for being normal, and I'm not particularly interested in normal. So yeah,
Very cool.
It's cool house, but I don't know how much of it is like it was. I can't tell.
Back in the 30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of the house has your band personality? Do you get away from the band when you shore up at the house, or do you guys have a room that's dedicated to, all the many Canadian music awards you guys have won, and it's got a rig that you guys can hang out and play, or do you just get away from the music when you go home?
Well, actually, this place has a recording studio attached to it. So, when my kids aren't populating it and reading or writing and recording their own music, I can go in there and work on my stuff. And yeah, we got some of the propaganda materials, the American Music Awards and whatever, up in there. The sweet Diamond Award that we got for All the Right Reasons.
Yes,
incredible. There's a couple things in there, but for the whole thing about putting up all the plaques, I don't know. It's like one of those things that, you hear about the people that win the Oscar award and they just put it in their closet. You think, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they show it? When you get a few of those things, you start to feel I just started to feel like it was a little braggadocious. You know what I mean? I didn't really want it. I don't need that as an icebreaker when people come over. Oh, look what you sold. 2 million copies in Belgium.
Right.
Wow. It's just like, I'm not really, you know what I mean? I guess I don't find that all that interesting, I suppose.
Sure.
I think I would be just the opposite. I've never won anything of value, so I don't know, but I think I would for sure. The first thing I would say is people walk through the doors, I'd be like, this used to belong to Bela Lugosi, and his ghost still walks around. Secondly, let's go down to my awards room. That would be the first two things I would say.
And Mike, you know how tired...
I am thinking about getting like a big picture of the guy put up in the house, because I think that would just be really, really cool to have. A picture of Mr. Lugosi. I think that would be really funny to just have that around. Having a picture of a vampire in your house is cool, but having your vampire picture of a guy who actually lived in your house,
right?
Really neat.
So you tell the rest of the band, hey man, don't touch anything. This is exactly the way Bella left it. The whole house, right. Top to bottom.
Right.
And when you go over to Dwyer's house, I've been there. The awards he's got, I'm so tired of looking at third place from the Pinewood Derby. It sucks. Believe me.
It was an exciting time for me in 6th grade.
Yeah, right.
Exciting time.
Yeah, well, everybody's got to have that good dose of humility every once in a while,
and he does. Trust me. All right, enough about your house. Let's talk about other stuff.
Okay.
So going back to your brother and the vocal issue, was that a scary thing? Like, did you think, geez, this could? What if they can't fix it? Was that a possibility, or how serious was it?
It was a possibility. what kind of kept going through my mind personally was that story of Julie Andrews. You know, she had her, you know, she went in for a throat surgery. I think not unlike what my brother's was. You know, she was just an amazing singer, and she went and got some kind of throat surgery to repair her vocal cords, and she never sang again.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so that was something that definitely was on my mind a little bit afterwards. And waiting for a year, you know, once you get past the feeling of, you know, extraordinary gratitude that he's not allowed to, like, talk for a month, and that's pretty awesome.
But
the new spokesperson for Nickelback, not Chad, Mike.
Aren't you kind of, though, when you guys are first sitting down to sing those tunes, you're all waiting for those notes, you're waiting to hear what happens. You know, well, Tom Kiefer from Cinderella, he had that same surgery. He came back stronger. So, boy, talk about two extremes. And when did he and you guys have the confidence, like, yep, this is going to happen?
Well, it was shortly after that year had passed, and then we started doing some rehearsals for when we were recording. We went back into the studio shortly after to do a few things, and I remember, you know, it was sort of like we were sitting there going, you know, he was going to actually, because we were playing a whole bunch of songs without vocals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's just no singing at all for us to keep sharp and everything. And then the one day it was like, okay, I'm going to sing Burn It to the Ground now. And we were like, oh, that one? That's that's quite a choice. It's a hard singing song. And he was actually he was louder and had more power than ever, actually.
So you should hold on to some of those instrumental tracks and put one of them on an album and just title it Chad 2015.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Chad. Sung by Chad. A couple of breaths in the background. That's about all he had at the time.
Oh, so Mike, let's talk about your kids for a second. They are how old?
My kids are 17 and 15. My son's 17 and my daughter's 15.
All right. What's on the Christmas list? What are you getting them?
They don't listen to the radio in Iowa.
No.
Nobody does.
Your
it's
wife
okay,
sent,
Mike.
Your wife sent this in. If you get a chance to ask him any questions, ask him if he's thought about what he's getting the children for Christmas. This is from your wife.
You know, my daughter, it was an easy one because she, being a musician and singer and songwriter herself, she's been making noises over the past year, actually all year, about wanting to get a theremin. You guys know what a theremin is?
What is it?
A theremin. Have you ever heard of that before?
I have not.
Here, clear.
Okay. It's like, do you remember back in the day, I guess the best example I could use is Jimmy Page. When he wasn't playing guitar, but he had this antenna thing that when he moved his hands close or far away from it, it made a different kind of pitch, a tone.
Okay.
It's that. It's a crazy device. The best example of it in audio would be the old school theme for Star Trek was played on a theremin.
Oh, okay. I thought that weird guitar like the Beatles played when they started hanging out with the Maharishi. If that's what you want, send her to her room.
This is a different thing. No. Yeah, it's like like an antenna that's creating some kind of interference, and when you move your hand close to it, exactly.
Okay, all right.
You move your hand closer, far to it. It makes a musical pitch.
All right. Is it?
Yeah, she really wanted one of those, so
now
I got one of those stashed.
As soon as you said that, our producer knew exactly what it was, and that makes me a little worried, Mike, that it might have something to do with the marijuana. Be very careful.
Can it be converted into a bong easily?
Yeah,
because then take it back.
We worry.
I don't know about your producer, but it better not be what my daughter's doing.
Well, that's why we brought it up. So you might want to have a difficult conversation.
Okay, now what do the kids get you in Christmases past? Has it ever? They're to the age now where, come on, man, Daddy's about this $4 million house. It's all over the news, and you get me an easy bake oven or whatever it is. What do they usually have they gotten you in the past?
Well, you know, like most people who kind of do what I do, I've never fully grown up. So, I'm a brat. If I want something, I just go get it.
Amen
so there isn't really a Christmas present people can get.
There you go.
But they, they'll get me something that'll be cool and from the heart. They underwear or socks or something. That's
iTunes
cool.
gift card again.
Yes,
perfect.
From the heart. It came from the
heart.
Well, there is some hope that they may get together and record a song, maybe even a Christmas song together for me and for the whole family.
And
so that would be really nice.
That would be the best gift you could get.
And that would be a wonderful gift.
What
Sure.
Did you at any time try to dissuade your daughter? I mean, I know as a dad, you don't want to squash their artistic expression. You want them to be excited about whatever it is they do. Obviously, you love what you do. You want that for your kids. But did you ever say, "Oh, I just wish that maybe this wasn't what she was choosing"?
No, I think that I think that they should both chase their passion, whatever it is, and if it changes, then so be it. It does, but I'm not. I want them to do what they want, and you see lots of people who, you don't only get one career in your
Right.
life. Who doesn't know somebody who used to do one thing and now they do something totally different, and sometimes you change careers multiple times, in your lifetime. So there's nothing wrong with it. Just try it out, see what works, see what doesn't work, and if it doesn't, they'll make a change and figure it out.
Yeah, the changes are going to move back in with you.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, we're looking forward to this summer. I know it sounds like we're rushing the season. We go from Christmas to July 31st in the fairgrounds.
This is so cool for us to have rock acts at the fair. 2 nights. You guys are doing the huge night on Wednesday. Saturday is going to be Tesla, which is also going to be a great night. They're a great band to see, and we are very excited. You guys put on a hell of a show. Any chance we're going to have somebody from the crowd up to do Rockstar?
Well, if that we usually just go by. Sometimes somebody will hold a sign up, but I think we'll probably do it. We've been doing that a lot over the last year or so, and the response to it's been really, really good. And the other thing we've been doing is having people come up sometimes and playing the guitar for when we play Animals.
Oh yeah,
and we've never had a bad experience with that. It's been every time, because the first couple, I think the first times we did it, we were in Europe, I believe, but we would, somebody would hold up a sign or whatever and say, "Hey, can I come up and play Animals on guitar?" And, you're worried, and you call a person up and you go, "Geez, can this person really play?" You don't know what you've really got. And every time I think it's a process of elimination, because if the person has the stones to, make a sign that says, "Let me come up on stage with you," they better be bringing the goods. And so far it's been, we've been batting 1,000 on that. And many of these people have been so skilled and so good that it was clearly, playing Animals was well beneath their pay grade. Like some of these kids in Europe were just shredders, the most amazing guitar players.
All right, so at the fairgrounds in July, you're going to have to up your game, everybody. You got to bring your own guitar, just like the kid who brings a mitt to a baseball game. He looks good. Look at him. He's ready to go.
You know how long 7 months is for people to learn not only to play a song, but also write a sign? We should not be talking about this.
To say nothing of learning the dance moves. Yeah,
Exactly. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes and chatting with us. You have a very Merry Christmas, and back out on the road in January, right? Yeah, you hit over to Japan, and then Australia, and then back to the Midwest.
Yep.
All right.
And onward we go.
All right. All the best to you. Thanks, Mike. And
have a Merry Christmas.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for your time, guys.
All right.
I
take care.
Your time.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.